You critique society, yet you are a part of it. Curious.
I'm very intelligent.
I'm never throwing Noah a softball ever again.
Remember the last time we did it?
All the videos that I have. Oh my gosh. Let me just say that sentence a little bit slower and a little more slurred. Good
Yeah, what's
Lord.
going on with Noah?
Hey everyone. So we do have a super huge apology we got to set this episode right off the bat with. Dan was not here, and as such failed in his one duty, which is being a gigantic Star Wars nerd. If Dan had been here, we would have known Baby Yoda is 50 years old, and not 23.
Counterpoint? Okay, I'm gonna be honest though. Here's the problem. Here's the real problem. I still haven't gotten around to watching it, so I wouldn't have known. See, I would have been just
This is
as
absolutely absurd that Baby Yoda is 50, though.
Exactly. Jackson and I thought it was the funniest thing. That like,
Yeah,
Baby Yoda's 23.
I'm pretty sure I made a joke. I'm like,
Wait,
oh,
what
if
did
he
you?
was like
What did you?
50,
Wait, hold
wouldn't
on.
that be
Did you think he was like gonna be like 5?
No,
I
like
thought
30
he'd
or
be
something. Like a teenager.
Yeah, I thought he'd be like, like 20.
No, Yoda's 900.
And,
and then he died.
Yes, that's why we agreed that 23 would be a funny age for him to be as a baby.
Yeah, because Baby Yoda's like what, 2? Like, okay, if you transfer to like human equivalent, like we assume.
Why does that have to transfer to human equivalent though?
No, okay, here's I'm just throwing it out there, right? You assume Yoda, if Yoda is over 900, and we'll say Baby Yoda is 50. Like I would have assumed bare minimum would have been like 20 or 30, because like you gotta assume, okay, if Yoda's in his like 90s, what the human equivalent would be of like late 90s.
I don't think you have to scale everything to human equivalency.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it's an easy
our
assumption.
life cycle is universal. I don't think it is.
See,
He's
my
a small
issue with
green
aliens is people are always like, "Oh, alien lives be long. Gotta make the baby time long too."
I feel like that's not a thing.
No, it sounds like something I would say, so I really like the bit you're doing. Keep going.
No, that's the opposite of the problem. The problem is that they like in most aliens and videos reach maturity at like normal human 20 years old and then live to be like 900 or whatever. Elves have that problem. So? Elves reach maturity at like 20, like 25, like everyone else, and then just live forever.
You got huge nerd energy going on. What I'm trying to articulate,
you're trying to do a bit, but like do the bit better.
No, it is a problem that does exist in.
I don't think it's a problem.
Several franchises.
Like
I can't.
What?
I literally can't think of them off the top of my head, and it's gonna make me sound like the biggest fake. But
you sound so fake and also so straw man right now. Like this is what's going on.
Why is it a problem?
I
that
think
they
it's
mature at normal rate.
No. It's
like,
not
does it take Yoda 50 years to learn how to talk?
That's my issue. Is that when aliens mature at an old race alien matures at a slower rate, so that they maintain the same like percentage of time of their life as a human would. I think that's stupid. Personally,
I agree.
I don't know. I think that like I would agree that like 50 to learn how to talk seems kind of
yeah,
but especially if they're at least as smart as humans,
like
if not smarter.
Baby Yoda being like 15 to 20, I can accept it. Baby Yoda being 50 years old is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I am angry.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's also there's also an aspect of like their brain may literally just not be capable of like producing speech and like rational thought up to a point. You know what I mean? Like it may not be a like
but also
they can't
none
learn
of
how
these
to do
things
it. It
are
may
real,
just be
so
like
you can do whatever you want. So why would you make a 50-year-old baby? It's my problem.
It's funny.
I mean, yeah,
it's pretty
it is.
Funny.
We thought it was the most absurd thing that he was 23, but here we are.
It's hysterical. Like, because it's funny and Star Wars is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, welcome back to Off the Air, everybody. That's our big apology. I'm Noah.
Small Yodas was 50. One of the Yodel. It's crazy. So little is known about their species. We don't even have a name for them. Just call them Yodas. I don't know. What do you want?
That was Lucas. That was all Lucas. Lucas was like, no, you can't tell anyone what Yodas are about. They can't. Nobody's allowed to write stories about them.
Secret Yodas.
We're not allowed to talk about. Can't talk about Yodas, and you can't kill off any of the main 3 cast.
Like Yoda, Yoda
until they
3.
dropped a moon on Chewbacca in the old series, because he was kind of more like a dog than an actual character.
They dropped a what on Chewbacca?
They dropped a moon on him.
On like his house?
Yeah,
no, on him.
Remember what?
No, you think I'm joking? That's how he dies in the old canon.
That's how they killed him. They dropped a moon on him because they were stupid.
But like, in what context was the moon dropped? Was he on a planet just hanging out?
The moon. He was on a planet. They're
evacuating refugees.
Yep, evacuating refugees due to the Yuuzhan Vong crisis, or the beginning of the Yuuzhan Vong crisis, and their whole big thing was they could manipulate gravity wells.
Planets.
Like that was one of their big like shticks, was that they could fuck with gravity, and so they were like, we're gonna fuck up this planet. We're gonna drop an entire moon on it.
I like how you started talking like George Lucas again when you started being the aliens.
I know all aliens are George Lucas in my mind.
And so they threw a moon at Chewbacca.
They threw a moon at the planet, and Chewbacca didn't make it off in time. And then Han Solo acted like a huge dickbag for like a full book before he realized, oh, wait a second, it's not my kid's fault that Chewbacca's dead. It's a little bit my fault.
No, it is his kid's fault.
It's super not his kid's
how
fault.
Is it
that
Han's
kid's
fault?
I don't know.
Han decided to go there.
It's definitely his kid's fault.
Notoriously, that's not his kid's fault.
I think it might be the fault of the people who threw the moon at Chewbacca.
You know what? I can back that, yeah.
What a controversial take.
I think maybe the guy who threw the moon at Chewbacca is the bad guy.
Yuuzhan Vong are fucking stupid. Don't at me.
No one's going to be mad at you for saying that.
No,
people are going to be...
When you started talking about that
no
in the
one
chat...
who matters will be mad at you for saying that.
When you mentioned the Vong in the chat, when you were talking about how young Sheldon, when I quote, young Sheldon is cooler than all the Jedi combined.
Yeah,
When you said that exactly.
It's also a better show.
And yeah, you also said it was better than Star Wars. When you said that, it was a very hot take, Dan. And if only I had the screenshots to prove that you did say that. Unfortunately, I can't post them right now. But you did. That's so weird. And we all know it.
I'm glad that you all know it. I'm glad that you guys are keeping me true to my word.
But when you said that, during the episode, I literally said, oh my gosh, he's about to talk about the Vong. This is the stupidest thing ever.
So I'm impressed that no one knew who the Vong were, and I'm still not over the fact that that's the dumbest name you could come up with.
The Vong?
Yeah.
Oh.
It sounds like the bong.
I mean, that was kind of they were all about bongs and thongs, like canonically. That's their whole thing.
In which case,
right,
they should have hung out with Cisco. They would have gotten along wonderfully.
I remember reading like one of the books that was like supposed to be like the first. Good lord.
Is that your bong?
God, that was terrible.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, nah, if it was water, it would have been fine, but it was alcohol, so that did not feel good.
What did it cost you?
I don't know, like a couple seconds of joy. But I think
a couple seconds that you'll never have back.
I mean, sure, but so is this last 8 minutes of the podcast. You don't hear me complaining.
Oh, you should. You should really. Everyone should be complaining.
We've been talking about Star Wars for too long, guys. Let's transition to something else.
What do you want to talk about, Jackson? What do you got?
Me.
Okay. Well, you got anything? You know?
Ask me some questions. I don't know. Ask me questions.
Oh no, the burden of proof is on you, my friend. Coming up in a few months, so we need to start planning him a big shindig right now.
I'm doing what in a couple months?
It's your birthday.
It's true, in February, yes.
Oh wait, today's Thanksgiving.
Oh shoot, yeah, it might be.
No, well, not today, but the day the episode comes out is Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'll be at Noah's house.
He will.
With a whole bunch of shrimp.
I forgot about that.
Just a case of them.
A case.
I'm gonna bring a pallet of shrimp.
Oh no.
And a barrel of cocktail sauce.
No, hold on. I don't see the downside here.
Noah's dad's allergic to shrimp.
Fuck him.
Wow.
No. I like Noah's dad.
Dan, just because you hate my dad doesn't mean anyone else hates my dad.
I can't believe
you literally just wish death on him via.
I mean, he doesn't have to eat the shrimp. He does not have to eat the shrimp. That's on him.
Yeah.
What if he's so allergic that just looking at the pallet of shrimp is his demise?
Imagine
Dan.
if I brought a pallet of shrimp, but there was like some ancient custom that like, I don't know, maybe your dad's like from your dad's like cultural heritage or something, like growing up, where he has to like, well, you ever like go to someone's house and they have like this weird like custom that they always do?
Yeah.
Like what if the custom was he had to eat all the food brought in, like he had to try it? And then like I bring the pallet of shrimp and just like look at him. He's like customarily bound to eat an entire pallet of shrimp.
And he just stares you down in the meantime, like you're just watching him. Like, you gonna do it? You gonna fucking eat?
His mom's got like a box of EpiPens.
Isn't that one of those things in Japan? If you like decline someone 5 times in a row, the 5th time you have to take what they offer you. Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
That's not a thing. I would just say no, and then if they offered me again, I'd be like, dude, stop.
If someone tried to offer me something, I would simply say no.
Exactly. I would. If I was JFK, I would simply not get shot. I would make it illegal to shoot me. R.I.P. to JFK, but I'm different.
Okay, so how you guys doing? So how's your day going?
Much better now.
Much better now that I've enlightened him as to being JFK. Like, he should have definitely made it illegal to shoot him.
In hindsight, a bad idea.
Yes.
What a fool. What an absolute
Are you guys
absolute
familiar with the
fool.
comic artist One Giant Hand?
No.
No, but I feel like we're about to be.
Long time. I don't want to say homie because I don't know him, but like I've been following him for a while on like Tumblr and stuff. Really funny guy. Always puts out good content. Every once in a while, that one of them will go viral. And he recently got on Adult Swim, so that's super cool. Like he's got like stuff on Adult Swim's website, so he's popping off. But he has a comic. It's one of his kind of older ones, but it is a man who it's Lee Harvey Oswald. And he's sitting at the Texas, school or book editing or whatever the Texas school book building Lee Harvey Oswald was in. And
Sure.
He says, "Oh boy, I sure can't wait to shoot this squirrel that stole my wristwatch. I hope nothing gets in the way." He's like, "Oh no, this is the worst thing that could have possibly happened." Very good.
Oh, I know this guy.
Yeah, One
He
Giant
made
Hand,
one of
very
my
funny.
favorite comics I've ever seen.
I really like his one about Space Jam 2, where it's a horse racing thing, and Bugs Bunny burns the money and says, let me pull up the quote here. Bugs Bunny burns the money in front of a man who has a gambling problem, and as a result is begging him for money, and because he'll die if the debtors don't get their money. And Bugs Bunny says to him, "I'm immortal, Mr. Monroe. Believe me, death is a blessing." Space Jam 2.
I really like this one where the guy's looking at his phone saying, "Siri, play me a song that will distract me from the pain of my wife leaving me for Pitbull." And then it shows the song is playing Pitbull, Mr. Wife Sex, titled "I'm currently having sex with your wife, Pitbull featuring wife."
It's so good.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in
Like
my
all
life.
of his comics are like that. The best one though is where the guy gets his leg caught in a bear trap. And he's like, my leg is caught in a bear trap. This is terrible." And then there's a billboard that's like, "Brought to you by Disney. Remember that time when your leg wasn't trapped in a bear trap and everything wasn't terrible?" And he's like, "Oh no, now Disney's trying to profit off of my nostalgia." He's so good. So after explaining comics verbally for the last 2 minutes, we should probably talk about something people can understand through audio alone.
Is that like the taste of beer?
No, Noah. What would I transition to after saying something users can understand through audio alone that may be relevant to the podcast?
Gotta be honest with you.
I'm never throwing Noah a softball ever again.
Remember the last time we did it? Remember the last time
I
we
know
did
you
a softball?
can't win. No one
Man
doesn't
just
even know
doesn't-
that you can go to audibletrial.com/off the air
God.
to get a free 1-month trial, including an audiobook that is yours to keep.
For me? Free to keep for me?
Can we kick Noah off the podcast
Dude,
yet? Can we do
this
that?
guy? Does anyone know him? Who's Mans?
I know. They ain't coming. They're not coming to get him.
I can't believe I've done this twice.
I can. It is exactly on
Yeah, I
brand for
kind
you.
of can too,
And
actually.
I'm very disappointed.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not disappointed. I'm kind of happy because it's funnier than it would have been if he was like, "Oh yes, Audible."
Yeah, but it just makes me disappointed.
Yeah, I can understand.
I really thought I was on top of things, thinking you were transitioning to a beer corner.
No, I have just like a cup of liquor.
I will say, I mean, I'll give it to Noah. It would have also been very funny if you had gone in and said like, "Oh, it's like you can understand through an audio medium," and then immediately gone into a Jackson's. Would have been very good. Credit where
been
it's
good as
due.
It
Both
honestly
would've been very
sounded
funny.
like the lead up to you opening a can.
It would have been a nice can open or a nice subversion of expectations to go on about talking about flavors. But it wasn't. It's for our sponsor, Audible. audibletrial.com/off the air. And if you hate reading, you can always support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/off the air.
You know what? That is true.
Those are both things that you can do.
Good lord. I'm still so angry that I'm twice.
That you're such a disappointment. Yeah, so are we.
Twice.
I'm kind of happy with it. So I guess I'm not.
Cool. Go off, Jackson. Go off.
So I have played and beaten the new Pokemon games.
Oh,
Oh, nice, nice.
Let me compile. Let me bust open the Galar Dex real quick online so I can get you guys the full review of all the Pokemon.
Oh my gosh,
One
I'm
by
so
one.
excited.
Yeah, one by one.
this is Jackson's Pokérap.
God, have you guys seen the Perfect Pokérap?
Which one?
The
The one that
Polygon
Bright,
one?
BDG did?
Yeah.
Half of my friends were there for it. I got like 3 or 4 people that went to PAX with me and like made an entire day trip into PAX just to go see that.
It's worth it.
It was a good time. It's what like made me realize that he exists.
Yeah, he's incredibly talented. Very funny guy.
He's very
Very
funny.
great guy. I love all the videos that I have. Oh my gosh. Let me just say that sentence a little bit slower and a little more slurred. Good
Yeah, what's going on
Lord.
with Noah?
I don't know. I love all the videos I've seen BDG do, though. Like, he's a very good time.
Yeah, he's really funny.
So I am here to bring you the Pokédex, the true review of Pokemon Sword/Shield. It's good. I like it. I'm happy with it. I don't know where I'd fully put it in my ranking system. Cause like, you know, through all the regions, that's not quite formulated yet. I think I need a little bit more time to think over it, play it again, which I'll be doing on stream this week.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the starters, you got Grookey, who is a small monkey, pretty Chad. Then you got Scorbunny, who is a small bunny, also pretty Chad. Then you got Sobble, who is pretty incel, not gonna lie, and evolves into furry once they're bait. All cool guys though. At the end of the day, all worth picking up. And then early game, you can get this guy Blipbug, or as I called him, Glaucoma Worm.
Glaucoma Worm, huh?
If you see him, you'll understand why that is. Who evolves into Orbeetle, which is a great little tanky boy, good friend. Corviknight, obviously a great guy, good pal of mine. Squovet and Greedent, not cool, not good, bad.
Okay.
Nickit, great name, hard. It's kind of, I always feel sus saying it though. It just is, it's got a really suspect
Yeah, be
start when you
careful.
say Nickit. Yeah, great Pokemon, cool evolution line. Wooloo is everybody's friend.
Can we talk about my best new Pokemon friend?
Is it Snow?
No, it's not. It's Impidimp. And the fact that we got an entire Impidimp evolution line, which came out of nowhere for me. I thought Impidimp was going to be a solo buddy. He was not. He's got a whole tree.
Yeah,
And
I
they're all-
genuinely do not like it though.
I hate
the
his
final
second
form is
tier.
ugly.
Oh, really? I like his final form. I don't like his in between, his edge boy teenager form.
That's true, and the problem is that's the one you catch in the game.
Is it?
Yeah, because you catch him kind of later in, so that's what you catch.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate you don't actually get to catch Impidimp, and you probably can, but it's much less common if you even find him anywhere. But Wooloo is a great boy, everyone's friend. Choodle is the worst. It looks like they combined Marshtomp and Squirtle, and then they just stretched the head out because they forgot to like widen the head in the sprite. It looks very bad. It's a very ugly Pokemon. Evolves into Dreadnought, who's pretty sick though. Yamper is way overrated, but still pretty cool.
Yamper's the one that's a corgi, right?
Yeah.
That's why everyone loves it.
You can tell he was definitely designed to be a fan favorite. Like he's available on like Route 1, has a unique ability, has a pretty strong evolution, is really good stat wise.
Kind of hate that.
It's whatever. It's not terrible.
Yeah, fair. I personally am not a fan of corgis, only because, not that I think they're bad, I just don't want one because their legs are too small.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
I love them. They're so great.
No, I'm sure they're great because they seem
so sad
freaking
that you-
adorable.
I'm so sad that you don't like them because their legs are too small.
Their legs are just so small.
Their legs are pretty small. Gossiflower and Eldegoss, I sleep. Not even worth my time.
Okay.
Sizzlepede, I'm so woke on that. It's just a spicy flat boy, and he evolves into a spicier, equally flat boy. Roly-Poly is just, they wanted to make Geodude again, but they wanted to make it fire this time. That's it. They wanted to put fire typing on Geodude. Even has like the same face as Golem throughout the line. Pretty weak sauce. I'm looking through here. They made Meowth Steel. I don't know why they gave him another form, because I guess 2 wasn't enough. He needs a third form.
I mean,
And
yeah.
then they had Persian Erasure. They forgot about Persian, and they just put Berserker in there. Who's it's just bigger Meowth. I sleep.
I don't know.
Milcery.
I feel like Meowth is overrated, right? Just like,
I think that's kind of underrated, but he's overrated commercially.
oh, okay.
Like, I think the actual like Pokemon players and like even Pokemon viewers, like not that many care about Meowth, but like commercially, they're definitely oversold because of his influence in the anime. Basically, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad I picked up at least that part, that he seems...
Yeah, no, he's very present everywhere. Milcery and Alakreamy. Alakreamy is probably my favorite new Pokemon. It's up there with the one you're about to hear about. It's just like, it's just a whipped cream child. And you can change the color based on how you evolve it. You can make it a rainbow. You can make it a matcha whipped cream child. It's great. It's an amazing friend. I love it.
Amazing.
Helped me through the game. Very instrumental. I learned how to evolve it without looking it up. And if you know how to evolve it, that's impressive because you have to have it holding a fruit and then spin, like in game, have your character spin around in circles. Yeah, I discovered this functionally by accident. Like I read the Pokédex entry, so like there was something about like it spins with delight or whatever, and then like I had equipped the item because it says on the item like Milcery loves this, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll give it to him. But like, maybe it makes him evolve if I want to level up. Didn't level up, so I forgot about it and just left it on there. And I was spinning around just because you can do it in the game and it's fun. And my Milcery evolved.
Whack.
Yeah, so very, very neat. Applin, this is my new favorite evolution line. I want to say Applin is it's just an apple dragon. It's just a worm that goes inside of an apple.
Okay.
But the worm's a dragon, and it evolves into if you're asleep, it evolves into Flapple, who no one cares about. Great name though, a wonderful name. Or it evolves into Appleton. Flapple is like it's a dragon, but its body and wings are made of apple. Appleton is this. Look in the chat.
Oh, good lord.
My best friend in the world. It's just a large boy made of apple pie with an apple on his head, and he's adorable and he's fun, and I care about him.
Look at that boy. Look at that boy.
That's what I'm saying. What a boy. There's a far-fetched evolution, which I sleep on. There's Corsola. They made it Ghost now, and it's got an evolution called Cursula. It's all right. Impidim's got some friends that Dan enjoys, and I respect that. Personally, I don't care much. I like Impidim itself is pretty cool. I don't like its evolutions, though.
I don't know. He's just such a gremlin, which I think is why Dan loves him.
Gremlin. I like base Impidim quite a bit. I think he's kind of cute, but I don't. His evolutions are just a little bit too hairy. It's weird. They're too Sasquatchy, in my opinion. Hatcherina is pretty cool, but it's definitely like it's the Gardevoir of this generation. It's the Pokemon that they were like, you guys want to fuck it, right? Like, that's 100% what it is. That's what it's there for.
I've seen a lot of people complaining about the dex entry on it, being like, oh, so if I had a really bad day at work, this thing's just going to come and beat the shit out of me. And
that's
everyone's
Hatchrim.
like...
Hatterina, let me read the Pokedex entry. This one's better. It's if you're too loud around it, you risk being torn apart by the claws on its tentacle.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's you can't, like, this is the no yell zone. Yeah, there's a lot of good returning Pokemon as well in this gen, which is something I'm excited about. It's not all just like, hey, look, we put the 150 original Pokemon in here. There's actually like a lot of returning, kind of slumbering boys. I was really happy to see that they gave Stunfisk a Galarian form. That's the only thing that's ever made me feel like Game Freak cares. Galarian Stunfisk.
Galarian Stunfisk is hands down the best version.
It's just a bear trap. They're like, you know what? We need a bear trap Pokemon. Yeah, you get some fan favorites coming back around, and they also put in my boy Inkay. Inkay's back in, which I love. But yeah, they cut a lot of Pokemon, which is unfortunate. Qfant and Caparaja, I don't really care about or care for. Their Caparaja just kind of looks like you ever play that game Boom Blocks on the Wii?
Oh yeah,
he looks like that.
Okay,
he looks like he should be a character from that. Toxel and Toxtricity. I love Toxtricity. I think he's super cool. Mine was actually mine was the one who beat the champion on my team.
Nice.
I defense set up on him because he has a move that's called Magnetic Flux, which just raises his defense and special defense. So I just like defense stacked, and then I just like wiped the champion's team, which was very cool because I was super under leveled for that fight.
Nice. Fantastic.
But his pre-evolved form Toxel though is just a baby, and I hate it. It literally, like, it's just like wearing a diaper and it's a baby, and I hate it. It's stupid.
Fair. Understandable.
I think two of the most sleep new Pokemon are Sandaconda and Silicobra. That could have been way cooler, but unfortunately they did not make them very cool.
Oh, I saw someone complaining about Sandaconda.
Yeah, it's just Tornado Bird. There is a new, like, evolution of Yamask. It's called Runigris instead of Cofagrigus.
I did hear about this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of neat because, like, Yamask has a different... Like, he has different attributes in this game.
Isn't that a pain in the ass to evolve?
Yeah. You have to, well, it's one of those you have to be, like, in a certain area.
But I think you have to be in a certain area, and then it has to, like, take a certain amount of damage or something.
Maybe.
I think it's like 40. It has to take exactly 49 damage, and then you have to walk through, like, a specific archway. I think is what I was told.
That sounds annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's it. I haven't got one. It does sound a bit much, though.
I'm only so sure that it's not it because I'm looking at his thing right now, and it's not saying that. It just says that you need to be near Dusty Bowl.
Sinistea. I like Sinistea and Poltegeist. I think they're pretty cute. Fairly neat.
Okay, so yeah, it's not exactly 49. I lied. It's 49 or more. I was misinformed.
I like Sinistea too because it is the black tea Pokemon. I think it's kind of cute that they put like literally a black tea Pokemon in the UK game. It was kind of cute. Good for them. I also highly rate my friend Phalanx. It's just 6 boys, and they squat up, and they make a Phalanx. It's super cute.
That's very good.
Yeah, they're cute. They're like little orb boys, and they have like little spikes on their helmets, and they like just have like little formations they do when they attack. I forgot about Morpeko. Morpeko is pretty cool. Indeedee, I don't know if that's like a sword exclusive because I couldn't find it. Like I didn't see it anywhere, and I didn't care to hunt for it.
Fair enough.
I was generally unimpressed by it. It just looks like worse Audino and worse. What's the one cat one? Esper's evolved form? I don't know. Meowstic. It looks like worse Meowstic and Audino combined. Morpeko is pretty cool, but it's just, why do they keep making Pikachus?
I think they know what sells toys.
I know, but like it's Neapolitan Pikachu. That's it. It even has like the etching of the tail on its back. And there's no, like in the decks, it doesn't say anything about that at all. Like it doesn't reference that. It's not like, yep, this looks like Pikachu. They're just like, it's just not at all Pikachu.
Yikes.
Yeah, so whatever. They have like one for every gen though, so good for them, I guess. Snome. Snome is great. The whole world loves Snome. Everyone's just like come to this small man's aid.
I've never even seen Snome, and I already love Snome.
It's short for Snow Worm. It's the Snow Worm Pokemon.
Yeah.
He's small. He's really, really bad though. Like his stats are terrible, but when he evolves into Frostmoth is really good. I have a Frostmoth on my team.
Fantastic.
Clobopus and Grapploct.
I love them just because I love octopi.
Fighting octopus. I'm glad that there's more octopus Pokemon because now you can pretty much have a team of just octopus Pokemon.
That's amazing.
And they're not even water type too, so they give you a little bit of diversity in your octopus team.
Does Tentacruel count for your octopus team?
Yeah, if you want him, I'd let him on.
Tight.
I don't like him, but I'd let him on. Then who else they got new? I don't want to talk about Mr. Rhyme. It's just they just made Mr. Mime 3. I don't know why.
Why is he called Mr. Rhyme, or is that just his whole?
It's just Mr. Mime's evolved form. Like they gave Mr. Mime an evolution, and it's Ice type.
I don't like that.
Yeah, Mr. Mime is like he's got a different form in this game.
Mm-hmm. He looks kind of uncomfortable. I just don't like him.
Yeah, I agree.
Is Stonejourner from this game?
He is, yeah.
Because I love giving you a Pokemon that's just like the freaking Stonehenge.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they had to, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Then you've got Arctozolt and Dracozolt, who I haven't actually found. They're post game. They're like I think they're the fossil ones. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not post game. Maybe you just have to find the fossils. But like you have to find like an upper and a lower half of the fossils, and I haven't like looked around for them at all. I think they look kind of weird. But yeah, you can. So there's 4 fossil Pokemon in this game. There's Dracozolt, Arctozolt, Dracovish, and Arctovish. So like you can get the dragon head or the ice head, and then the fish body or the I don't know, electric body. But yeah, so you combine them to make that Pokemon. Stonejourner's cool, but it's a sword exclusive, so I haven't been able to see it at all. Ice-Q is just a penguin, but they gave it Mimikyu's ability. I
love it.
And it's got an ice head. Duraludon is dumb looking. It's just I don't know, Steel Man. I sleep. I definitely sleep.
Validly so.
I will say the best in this game has got to be in terms of like big 3-chain evolution boys, Dreepy. So it's a ghost dragon type, and the final one is Dragapult, and Dragapult is Catapult Dragon, and he shoots small dragons out of his head from like the landing strips.
Okay, yeah,
that's very good.
He's very cute, boy. Then you get the box legendaries. You got Dog with a Sword or Dog that is a shield, and there's a Scary Guy.
Oh no, not Scary Guy.
Yeah, look out for him.
I can't handle it. I don't know how to deal with this.
He's a scary guy.
He does definitely seem to be a scary guy. Whack.
It's one of those things where they're like, it's a dragon type, but we got to make it poison also because dragons are terrible against fairy. So
they had to give him something that at least evens the playing field.
Yeah. So that's my full review of of the Pokemon in the Galar region. I think the game's pretty good. It's fun. I kind of want to go through it again, so that's exciting. It's got pull in that direction.
Nice.
It's always nice.
I saw some people criticizing the game for simplifying a little bit too much and stuff like that, but then they also immediately pulled back and said, "Now that being said, I still like the game. I'm still having fun with the game, and the game is everything that I want like a Pokemon game to be." But slight criticisms.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't turn the EXP share off; it's mandatory. But whatever, it doesn't really matter.
I feel like that's a little weird, but hey, you know what?
It's been like standard for the last couple games that it's just like always there, but you can just like not turn it off this time, which is kind of a weird function. But it doesn't really affect the game too much unless you're really trying to like go super hard mode, in which case I think you're playing the wrong game. But
yeah,
hey, whatever makes them happy, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
no happiness.
Yeah, there's it's kind of harder to do like extreme runs on comparatively because it's not necessarily built around those kind of things.
That's fair.
But the game's still fun. I think the biggest problem I had personally was the champion was way over leveled, like comically over leveled. the rest of, I mean, he was hyped up the whole game, so it kind of makes sense. That's like the final boss. But also the fact that every fight you have up until him is 10 levels under his lowest level Pokemon.
Oh.
Means that if you want to be like, because when I was fighting like the gym leaders and stuff towards the end and like in the finals and everything, I was like really, I was too leveled up, like I was too over leveled, so I wasn't really having that much fun with the battles because I was just stomping on them. So I was like, all right, I'm just not going to level anything up. I'll just stay a couple levels over where I, with the gym leaders and everything was. That'll probably be even with a champion. And then I went in and every single one of my Pokemon was lower than his lowest level.
And then you died, and that was it.
No, actually, I still beat him.
Then you never played again.
Which is also kind of sad because I still did beat him first try.
Yikes.
But like I said, I just like made my Toxtricity unkillable, and then just he has a lot of damage, so I just used a lot of damage. So I did cheese the game, but yeah, it was kind of disappointing to get to the champion battle and have it be like you either had to be crazy over leveled so that every battle up until that wasn't fun, or you had to grind for a couple hours to make it so every battle up until then was fun, and then you fight the champion after grinding. So like that felt kind of bad. And a lot of people were complaining about the level system because like of the max raid battles. Like they're cool. The only problem is like you gotta do them with real people because the AI is so bad that you're just gonna have to solo carry them, which you can do, but it's just inconvenient.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
Yeah, because like I went into one the other day against it was a Toxtricity. It was the other form of it because there's two forms.
Yeah,
and it was just an electric poison type Pokemon. On my team there was a Magikarp. As one of the players brought out a Magikarp, and I was like, "Are you for real right now?" And then it used Splash every turn until it died. And they revived it, and then used Splash again. And then it died again, and then we lost the battle because their Magikarp died 3 times. And it was an AI person. It wasn't like the game decided that was my partner.
Huh.
I was pretty mad.
I feel like that would be as well.
Just bring out a Magic. I think it just like randomizes what Pokemon it is, so it's just bad luck. But
That's still kind of bullshit.
Yeah, you just gotta hope you don't get a terrible Pokemon. I do think Applin, when I play through it again on stream this upcoming week, I want to make the Appleton a big part of my team because I just love him so much. He looks like a Dawn Blue dinosaur. I think that's why I like him so much. Like he looks like a Dawn Blue dragon, I guess, because he's a dragon. But you see what I'm saying?
I kind of do.
I think he's something special because he's so silly. Like I'm kind of like being a Pokemon fan at this age. I'm not really into like the cool, edgy designs anymore. Like you put a picture of the Charizard on screen, I sleep. I don't care about that. It's stupid. It's just like, it's clearly a 13-year-old boy bait. And that's fine. You gotta have some of those in every game. Some of the edgy, spiky boys, like Toxtricity, who I only like because he was really useful on my team. But otherwise, I'd be like, this is a spiky boy. It's clearly meant for edgy kids. But then you get the Pokemon like Appleton, and just look at this goober. Like, no edgy kid ever is gonna like this guy. But I love him. I just look at him and I'm like, this is a green, silly dragon with an apple core on his head, or like an apple skin on his head, and an apple pie for a body.
Yeah, no, it's real dumb.
Like, I love it.
No, I get you.
Let me show you the alternative, because I feel like you need to understand why it's sleep. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the window. This is the alternative, which is pretty neat, admittedly, but like nowhere near as cool as apple pie for a body boy.
Pie for a body boy is the biggest dork, and I love him. Oh, yeah,
no, that's why I absolutely like. I saw him for the first time when I gave this kid who asked me for my apple, and he's like, "Can I have that?" And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I want to give it to my girlfriend." I was like, "In your love quest, brother, I will give you my apple." And then he gave it back because his girlfriend didn't want it, but she still loved him.
That's good.
So all ended well, yeah. And then also it evolved. And I was like, "Oh, cool." Now I got an apple pie.
Sometimes things turn out okay.
My only regret is that I found it too late in the game for me to have it on my team. So next time I want him there, front and center. I think that's my total review of Pokemon.
Well, there we go. Good review, in my opinion. I look forward to checking the game out myself. I will eventually get around to it because I don't know, I just kind of want to.
Yeah, it's a good time. There's definitely some features I didn't use. There's a lot of cool online features actually, which is weird because usually Pokemon kind of focuses away from the online things. But there's like online communication. You can like see what your friends are up to. So look forward to that. But unfortunately, I think you can catch all the Pokemon really, really easily. I didn't try. Like I beat the game with only having caught Galar Pokemon, so I had like 45 at most. But like if you try for like a couple hours, you can catch easily like another 100 Pokemon because of the way that they spawn in the wild area. Like you can catch a whole bunch of unique Pokemon by just like zooming around on a bike, which is useful if you're trying to like look for something. But it's also like it makes catching all of the Pokemon a bit too easy.
Yeah.
Like most of my friends who want to complete the Pokedex have already completed the Pokedex in a week.
That seems a little quick, and I don't know how to feel about that.
And it's also because there's no national dex. There's only the regional dex.
Right.
So that literally cuts out half of the Pokemon, which is something I know a lot of people have been complaining about. Because in previous games, you could at least, even if you couldn't catch them natively, you could trade them over from past games.
Right.
But like in this one, let's say I want to get like my Solgaleo from Pokemon Sun into this game, I literally can't. Like there's just no way to put it in the game, which is that's why everyone's kind of mad about it.
Yeah, I get it. But I also heard that it was a bit of a tech problem is what ended up happening with it. So I'm sure that that's not going to be something that they're going to do again.
I agree. I don't think it's a permanent issue. I just think it's kind of like if you couldn't include them in the base game, I don't care if I can't catch them. But like it's important that you can get them somehow, you know.
And since they're on the Switch now, that should be a patchable thing. So
yeah, this is true. They said they have no intention of adding it though.
That's stupid. That is stupid. Unless
they change their mind. Last I heard, they said they had no intention of adding a national dex.
Oh well.
So yeah, I guess just wait till next gen. And maybe they'll do like a I don't know, like sword, shield, and gun. Like they'll do a third version, spear, lance. I don't know. Yeah, that was one of my favorite games.
That's my favorite rock paper scissors game.
Sword, shield, gun.
Rock paper scissors, sword, shield, gun. Yeah.
I think that it'd be cool if they did a third game, but they haven't done that in a couple of years. Like they haven't done, like your Platinum or your Emerald since Gen 4. Because Gen 5 there was Black and White and then Black and White 2, and then X and Y, and that's it. And they did Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and then they did Sun and Moon, and then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So yeah, no, they haven't done like a third in a long time. But maybe they'll do like a second run in the Galar region. Sword and Shield 2. I think if they did a third game, that'd be neat, because those were always the best ones. They always ironed out all the kinks and like included a little bit more that people were looking for. So I hope they do something like that. I know Ultra Sun and Moon were really neat in that they added a lot of the Pokemon that Gen 7 didn't initially have that natively catchable. Because like Gen 7, like you couldn't catch a lot of Gen 6 Pokemon when it came out, because Pokemon Company's terrified of not every Pokemon being Charizard. So like they don't include cool things for Pokemon that they don't know will sell well.
Man, that was the thing that pissed me off about like the lack of decks, is that the only starter that made it, like the only of the original starters that made it across was Charizard.
Yeah, no, it's a little dumb. It's a little dumb.
Like that.
I mean, it's just whatever will sell, and like it's annoying. But like, look at the Mega Evolutions that they've done. Like when Mega Evolutions came out, not a single Gen 6 Pokemon got a Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
What's the point of including them in the new gen if you're not going to give a single one of them the Mega Evolution form? Not even the starters. Like, why would the whole game focus around Mega Evolutions and then I'm not even able to Mega Evolve my starter? Like, that's kind of dumb.
I feel like the concept of the starter is weird to me. Like, because I feel like a lot of people, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is just my experience with the games from what little I played, but like, how many people actually use their starter through like a decent portion of the game?
Most everybody.
Yeah.
Really?
Ever, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
they're incredibly powerful.
Well,
does this kill the point you were about to make?
They're a three-form chain. Every once in a while in speedruns, they won't use the starters, but most speedruns just use the starter because they're so good.
Whack. Yeah, no, that does in fact kill the entire point.
Did you think they were bad?
No, most people that I have like played stuff with or talked about it with just like go for whatever Pokemon they get over time. They don't really stick with their starters.
That's weird. Yeah, I've had the opposite experience.
Fair enough. My experience with Pokemon, I've mentioned it before, is small because I don't really love the games. I think that some of their designs are cool, but I think that their naming conventions are fucking stupid. Their game design choices are whack, and the core gameplay loop isn't my style.
Yeah, I think that the starters usually stick around. I mean, it's because you have a team of 6, so like it's kind of hard to have 6 individually good Pokemon that are like comparable to your starter, which is also usually going to be the highest level Pokemon around. So you're going to want to keep it in the area.
That's fair.
So yeah, I just am kind of always annoyed that they introduce these new mechanics. Like in this game, like the equivalent of Mega Evolution is Dynamaxing, which every Pokemon can do. I thought it was really dumb, and then actually when I played the games, I was like, this is pretty sick.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's actually like it's incorporated pretty well into the games. The thing that isn't though is the idea of Gigantamaxing, which is what they call it when your Pokemon takes on a different form.
I hate that.
You see some of the Pokemon like when they Dynamax, like they don't just like get bigger, they also change form. Like they pseudo evolve. And they get like a special move. which is pretty sick. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm gonna get an Alcremie because I know she has like a evolution form. So like my homegirl Alcremie was going through me with the game. She was really strong, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna Dynamax her so I can get the Gigantamax form at this gym. You can't. You have to beat the game and catch a certain Dynamax Pokemon in a raid that has Gigantamax already. You have to catch a Pokemon that already has it. You cannot in any way give it to a Pokemon that is not caught with it.
Wow.
And you also can't do it until the end of the game. Meanwhile, almost all the gym leaders do it. So I was like, oh, super exciting that I'm going to be able to do this too. Like, can't wait to get a Gigantamax form of one of my favorite Pokemon that's been on my team for a while. No, you can't do that. Sorry.
Get fucked, nerd.
Yeah, that was really dumb to me. Like, I don't get why you can't like incorporate on the core mechanic of the game, because like they're really trying to hammer Dynamaxing as like a huge deal. I mean, it's like the whole story's focused around it and everything. But you can't even Gigantamax your own Pokemon.
Yeah, that's weird.
Unless you catch one that can. And it's not like they're immensely better. They just have like a special move and they look different. So that was really annoying to me. It's the same boat as Mega Evolution though, where like if you want to Mega Evolve a Pokemon in Gen 6, you basically better catch a Gen 1 Pokemon. And you also can't really Mega Evolve anything until post-game because they give you so few Mega Stones. Unless you want to use one of the Kanto starters, which they give you right off the bat. Because as soon as you get your starter in Gen 6, which is my favorite gen actually, I think it's got the best music, I think it's got the best environments. But as soon as you start the game, basically you get your starter, and then you get a Kanto starter. So like you get a, let's say you pick I usually go with like a Fennekin. So if you get Fennekin, then you can also get a Bulbasaur at basically the same time. Huh. So what's the point of them even giving you a unique starter for the gen if they're just going to throw a Bulbasaur in your hand? And then also the Bulbasaur or the Venusaur that makes it so your Venusaur can Mega Evolve down the line. So you can have your starter from this generation or an objectively better starter because this one has 4 forms and we've given you the tools to give it those 4 forms immediately.
Yeah, I see the problem. And
they consistently do things like that where they just highly prioritize Pokemon that have been successful in marketing in the past because people eat it up.
Yeah, I mean, understandably. If not, somewhat annoyingly. Yeah,
it's just a shame, though, because people don't, like, actually call them out for this. And then whenever you do, like, if I say stuff like this, people will be like, why are you complaining? You still bought the game.
You can have negative thoughts about things and still support them, like, on...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, but that's because I think we're adults, so we understand that, and a lot of the Pokemon fan base is younger, so they immediately assume, like, if you say, I think this about the game was bad, they're like, you can't say a single bad thing about the game if you paid money for it.
No, I mean, yeah.
It's the
source all fandoms from all things
society,
forever.
Mm-hmm.
You critique society, yet you are a part of it. Curious.
I'm very intelligent.
It's that, yeah.
No, it absolutely is. That's very fair. I fucking love that. I really fucking love that meme.
You would.
Tweeted this from your iPhone, though. Yeah, my bad. I wanted to have a phone.
See, that's...
Yeah, you nerd.
The Apple versus anything debate is always something that I've always felt awkward to be on a side on because I have a Mac, but I'm squarely in camp PC for most things. So I would be saying things like, yeah, nah, really don't like Apple. They're, this, that, the other thing. And people are like, you got a MacBook. And I'm like, yeah, makes me an educated source on why I don't like it.
They're good laptops if you have the money for them. But it's also like, I don't get people going to war for brands like Apple or Samsung. They're like, oh, really? You don't use Android? Or, oh, poverty, you use Android. Like, bro, Apple has never done anything for you in your personal life that you should be willing to stake your own, like, values on them as a company.
No, yeah.
They want your money, and they will continue wanting your money every year. It's not like you being like, poor people use Android. The phones cost the same amount. And all you're doing is creating like a class-based struggle out of something where it doesn't exist. That's not your enemy. Your enemy isn't people. Yeah, your enemy isn't people who use Android if you have an iPhone. Your enemy is the people who are exploiting the workers making your phone. Like, come on. It's silly.
Freaking absurd.
But the problem also is we live in like the problem with the high technology society is that there's so few manufacturers of it, and you can't really get a third party ethically sourced version of a phone.
No,
there might be a company out there that makes it, but because the technology is so often proprietary, there's only a handful of people who can make it, and those people have already been exploiting labor. So like you can't be like, I want someone new to make a phone from the ground up and also do it really in the most expensive way you can, Yeah. And that's why, like, people are like, oh, just put your money is your vote, vote with your dollar. That makes sense, but also at some point you have to, like, demand better rights for the people who are in these environments. And you can't get rid of the environment. You can't be like, well, I'm just not going to buy a phone made by people who aren't getting paid money. Like that's a
Guess
nice
you're not
idea,
buying a
but you
phone,
can't
then.
do it. And you also need a phone to live in society. Like, and like, oh, we live in a society. But like, imagine you're like, hey, I'm applying for this job. Oh, I don't have a cell phone. You can send me a letter if I get the job.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, if I'm late to work, just come to my house and knock on the door. You know, like you can't. You can't function in society without a phone. In order to have a phone, you need to support a company that is actively destroying people's lives. So it's you have to be a hypocrite on some level to participate.
I've been watching through the Good Place, and I don't know if you guys care at all about it, but a lot of people do.
Been informed I should watch it
I've heard
because it's a
good
good time.
things. I just I don't know. I've never had a bad experience with NBC's comedies.
No, it's fine. Yeah, like it has a lot of really interesting philosophical stuff. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing it up, and no spoilers, because this final season isn't done yet, but they are kind of like that's one of the things that they've kind of mentioned a couple of times now, is that like it's really hard to be in like a air quotes objectively good person in a society where in doing so you are actively like. It's impossible. You can't do it. No matter what you do, you are going to be hurting somebody by your actions.
Everything you do is objectively bad on some level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the idea of utilitarianism, where like you have to see good as something in which the most people are benefited and the least people are harmed, but also utilitarianism is like innately incredibly flawed, because the idea that you have to do the most for the most people still hurts some people, and the idea that you can just quantify good in numbers and ethics in numbers is, you know, a really dumb idea. And but it's also really easy to explain to people, so people buy onto it really fast. So like, oh yeah, just, you know, do the thing that's good for the most people.
Just don't be just don't be terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't ever hurt people, or just hurt the least people possible.
Oh dang, dude! I didn't know that was all I had to do. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to implement though. Like, it's something that you can kind of like see more clearly, because you can put numbers to people, which is the problem with it. The same problem is it's also its benefit, but then it also becomes hard to quantify what is good, what is the amount of good being done, what's the amount of bad being done, what's the number, what's the scale.
Yeah.
So, you know, what can you do? How can you live ethically?
I'm sorry, you were bringing something up with that. I'm sorry.
No, that was the whole thing.
No, he brought it up.
That was it. Is that the show's been talking about it, and it's like an interesting idea that like you can't be a good people because you have to, like, by existing you are kind of doomed from the start.
Kind of, but I would disagree. I think that you can be a good person within the confines of your existence, because like you can't be like, well, I guess no one can hit the mark.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
that's too too much of a. Okay, see, I haven't seen the show, so I'm not sure. What the full point
and I'm trying really hard not to like let me tell you exactly how it happens, because wildly important spoilers, just story stuff.
So Kristen Bell is in that show, right?
Sure.
She's the main character.
Yes. Then yes.
Guys, who do you prefer as an actress, Kristen Bell or Kristen Stewart?
I feel like those are not the same like ball game.
They
like
both
those
spell their name the same though.
Yeah, I mean, I like Coke more than orange soda, but they're very different things in terms of the same realm, you know.
Oh man.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go Kristen Stewart because I know her better.
I like both of them a lot, but I think
I thought for sure you were about to cop out on your own thing and be like, you know, I just kind of feel like they're both got a lot going on. They're both really, you know, excellent at what they do.
Yeah, no, I really like both of them, but I've seen Kristen Bell in commercials before, which makes me like her less. Also, Kristen Stewart has been in some pretty good movies. And she's always with Jesse Eisenberg, which I think brings her up on my scale, because I really like Jesse Eisenberg.
I do too, fun. And I feel like that poor boy gets a lot of flack.
Yeah, he does. But I think he's really fun. I think he does fun things. He's a fun actor. And he's always with Kristen Stewart. They're always paired together in movies. So I think I pick Kristen Stewart over Kristen Bell.
That's a fair choice.
Yeah.
Because they were in what? They were in American Ultra, and they were in what's that one movie? I watched it not that long ago. It was pretty good.
It's that one movie.
Think of it. It's Cafe Society, I think is what it's called.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
It's just in a Cafe Society.
I can't remember. I saw it when I was like half asleep when I saw it. Like, I think it was one of those things where like it's like you might like, and I was like, maybe I'll like, and so I clicked and I was like falling asleep. So I don't really remember that much about it, but I remember him being there and Kristen Stewart being there, and then I fell asleep. So fair. I mean, maybe the movie was good. I don't know.
Maybe that's all you need to get it. Maybe that was it. That was the whole thing.
Was terrible. I had no idea if it was terrible.
Turns out the movie was just the worst.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have never heard of it outside of the time I think it showed up on Amazon Prime. Speaking of Amazon Prime, though, the final season of The Man in the High Castle was out.
Is that good?
It's really good.
I've heard it's really good. Yeah, I haven't had time to watch it.
The first 2 seasons are really good. The third season is
less good.
Pretty good. Less good. But like really shocking. and the fourth season I've seen like 3 episodes, and I like it's good, but it's just really tense. Like it's one of those things where it's like really tense, like to the point where I just want to like pause it sometimes and like you know. And it's because it deals with like I mean, some of the main characters are literally like higher ranking Nazi officials.
It's almost like that's not where
the problem comes from. I mean, obviously that's a huge problem, but like within the confines of the story, you have to see it from the point of the narrative.
You don't defend it. We all understand that you're a horrible Nazi. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm glad everyone gets that. But
we understand and accept you for who you are.
Don't ever say that. But so basically, like, because they're dealing with Nazis as like one of the main people group, there's so much tension because it's extreme fascism. So like, you step out of line, you're dead, no matter who you are. Like the government will just kill you. So like, there's a lot of tension from like people breaking the rules. You're like, it puts like it's not just like a social slight. It's like you listen to this music or whatever, like you will literally die.
Yikes.
I mean, that's how it works, though. I mean, that's why it works as a show, because like the tension is placed and like the character deaths are real. And also, like they just be killing anybody,
any and everybody,
and everybody.
Yeah, they've killed some pretty main characters, but it's also like the whole thing is probably like a parallel world story.
Yeah, it's like what is the hell's the name of it? It's the Wolfenstein type thing where the whole world is now the Nazis or whatever.
Not the whole world. It's the whole world is the Axis powers. So Japan rules half the world and the Nazis rule half the world.
Whack.
But yeah, no, there's also like, it's not like alternate universe, but parallel universe. So there are like the whole premise of like the setup of the show is that like there are basically films that show the Allies winning the war. They're like propaganda, obviously super illegal, because clearly the Nazis don't like that.
Right.
But like the whole point of the show is that like they come from a parallel world, basically, where that is functionally our world.
Huh? Would not expect that out of that.
Yeah, it's a Philip K. Dick story. So you know how he be doing.
I do, yes.
Yeah, he be doing that kind of parallel, like, ooh, but what if kind of things. So it's the final season. I haven't watched all of it yet, but it's a pretty good show. I'd watch it if you can.
Sunday? You're free on Sunday?
Sunday. That's today.
Sunday.
I hate all of you.
I can't believe that Dan's gonna watch it today.
Wow.
I am. I'm gonna watch it right.
Just because it's already 9:30. Like that's pretty late to start watching a show. But I'm glad you're gonna watch all of it.
A show, especially if one of that intensity.
Yeah, it's a really intense show. I did watch all of season 3 in one day though, and all of seasons 1 and 2 in over a day and a half.
Nice.
I don't know. I might have to look into checking that out. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. They got a lot of characters be going around.
I mean, as you should.
Yeah, you can also get the book on Audible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you want to listen to it.
Fancy.
That's how it was originally made. It was originally a book, and now it's a series adaptation. So speaking of Audible, I think this is about where our podcast comes to a close.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna let you keep talking.
I mean, I didn't want to start to like shut anyone down because I was, enjoying the old conversations. But yeah.
First time for everything. Noah not wanting to shut something down. Am I right? Fucking got him.
No, you're wrong.
Well,
fucking
so
wrecked.
Dan's audio is going to be dead for the rest of the episode anyway.
He does have that power. Yeah, Dan's Born to Rule at 57 on
fucking coward.
On something Born to Rule on Twitch. I don't know. So you probably know. Like you probably know by now. Don't pretend you don't know.
No one wants the truth, but Noah can't handle the truth.
So Noah is Bubba the Bad, BUBBABAD on most every social media. I'm
He's
Jackson.
Holding the podcast hostage. Don't let him win.
And you can find us on the podcast on facebook.com/OTA podcast. YouTube doesn't have a link, but if you get 200 subscribers, it will. Twitter.com/theofftheair and patreon.com/offtheair.
Hot damn.
More like hot Dan, am I right?
No.
Ha! You didn't mute my audio.
By the way,
now that has context.
Noah said no there in reference to Dan, who, as we know, has been muted for a little bit now. But he had it coming, really.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
I, for one, welcome Noah's decision to start muting people for their bad behavior.
Everyone, welcome Noah as our new overlord.
Dan said something about Noah as our overlord. I'm not going to repeat it word for word, but you get the gist.
Exactly.
This is abuse.
Luckily, as we all know, this is not abuse. This is exactly what everyone signed on for.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's it. So
I didn't sign on.
Look out next week, y'all. It's episode
see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
69.
Is it really?